There are lots of different ways to contribute in the CNCF, but which way is going to be best for you? In this episode, I got a chance to speak to Alkin and Emin. Alkin is a longtime speaker, author, very active in the database community, and he and I met about 4 years ago when I hosted him a live stream in the Data on Kubernetes community. He's living in Turkey and he wants to get more involved in the local community there to see how he can contribute with his knowledge and experience. In order to make the connection, I reached out to Emin, who's a CNCF ambassador and is also based in Turkey. So the three of us had a conversation about Alkin's experience in figuring out the best way for him to get plugged in so that he can add value and share with others all the things that he's learned in his journey. This podcast is brought to you by OVH Cloud, the global cloud provider delivering industry-leading performance and cost-effective solutions. From managed Kubernetes to private registries, OVH Cloud has the cloud-native tools you need. OVH Cloud, the world needs different. Now, let's check out the episode. So, very nice to be here, joined by my fellow ambassador, Emin. Emin, for people who don't know you, what do you do? Where are you located?
Yeah, I'm located in Turkey, actually, in Izmir, Turkey, and I'm working as a solutions architect right now at a company called Stateful, and I'm responsible for the customers in the EMEA region. And like yourself, I'm also a CNCF ambassador trying to help the cloud native community as much as I can do.
Very good. Well, in this particular case, someone who's also in the cloud native community, who I've known for 4 years, his name's Alkin. He's also in Turkey, very active in the database world. And I was speaking to him, and he mentioned that he wanted to get more acquainted with and contribute in the CNCF community. Alkin, if you'd like to introduce yourself, explain your background, and what kind of things you're interested in doing.
Absolutely. This is Alkin from Istanbul, Turkey again, and I'm basically coming from a database communities and specifically known in the MySQL world, but I have also have decade and a half of enterprise database experience. So like Bart mentioned previously, I've been on data on Kubernetes and Kubernetes communities representing databases in specific region using Vitess as a maintainer. So I felt a little bit away from the Kubernetes communities and wanted to come back to these communities and wondering how can I help and how can I contribute back to database Kubernetes communities with a database background.
Wonderful. That's a great problem to have. And I think we can think of some different options. One thing is, Contributor for folks that are interested in finding a CNCF project that's looking for contributors, good first issues. But Emin, what are some of the other ways that people can contribute?
People always contribute by attending attending conferences or online or in-person meetups and maybe sending some CFPs to those events to present something about the cloud native technologies, especially around maybe databases. You mentioned Vitess and it's a CNCF project, and you can, for example, create a talk about that and share your experiences with the wider community as well. And you can do that with collaborative community group chapters too. Those are local organizations under the CNCF umbrella, and you can reach out to your local organizers. For example, I'm part of the Cloud Native Community Group chapter, Istanbul chapter, and we are organizing both in person and online the webinars, meetups, and you can share your experiences there too.
What I can say from personal experience, Alkin is a very good speaker that I would highly recommend.
But yeah.
Alkin, do you have any talks prepared or some information, some knowledge experience that you might like to share in one of these local communities?
So there are a lot of areas that I want to actually kind of come up with these communities, and as you know, I've authored 2 books in the past 4 years, and those are very effective communication methods for people who are actually interested in learning about more databases, and also with the experience designing and building and launching database as a service using Kubernetes and Kubernetes operators. I have a vast experience using stateful workloads in Kubernetes. So I would be happy to share some of that knowledge, discussions, pitfalls, war stories, things like that. I think people like to listen.
Very much so. We can never, overlook the importance of running stateful workloads on Kubernetes. As much as it's something that's being done more and more, some people still think it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, or the Kelsey Hightower, just do everything statelessly. So, Emin, what do you think would be the next best step for Alkin to do?
I think maybe I can put the links in the chat and we can share later on. But you can reach out some of the community groups, cloud native community group chapters, and to the organizer. And luckily, I'm one of the organizers of the Istanbul chapter. But of course, around the world there are tons of different community group chapters, and I know they're also organizing. They're also looking for different speakers from maybe different locations, geolocations, and you can reach out to those organizers directly to present what you have, present your story. And also at the same time, I can also recommend sending some CFPs to some KCDs, which are Kubernetes Community Days. Again, these are local events organized by the local community group organizers. And these people are also looking for great speakers to share their stories, share their experiences with their audiences. So I think these would be the best next step.
Fantastic. Well, Alkin, I think our work is cut out for us. You can go ahead and take a look at these groups, see what's going to be the best fit for you, and then perhaps we can catch up in a couple of weeks to see how your progress is going and what you can give to us in terms of feedback of how your experience has been. Does that sound okay?
That sounds like a plan.
Wonderful.
Brilliant.
Well, gentlemen,
Awesome.
looking forward to it. Cheers.
All right. Thank you
Cheers.
very much.